That's the one that Moon guy hit by when
My
he
name's
said.
Kevin Bailey, and I'm a visual effects artist. I got my start when I was 18 years old in the industry on Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, and have since worked on movies like Harry Potter, The
actually,
Goblet of Fire, Transformers: Age of Extinction, and a whole bunch of movies with Robert Zemeckis. We're here today to talk about the 5 Visual Effects Academy Award nominees and what makes them so groundbreaking. What's really exciting to me as a visual
Take notes,
effects
chat.
artist
This is important
about
stuff.
this year's field of nominees is how diverse they are. Some years you have 3 or 4 really similar films, and one kind of stands above the rest, and it's an easy guess.
This is not Resident
This year,
Sleeper.
It's everything from digital
cool.
characters to de-aging to invisible effects, virtual production. Every film stands for something different.
Wake up!
First, let's look at Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame, which is a whole tie-up to the Marvel comic universe, really built upon successes of previous Marvel films with their digital characters. Thanos was an amazing performing digital character in Infinity War that made use of machine learning and all kinds of cool tech to bring him to life in that film. And they just elevated that technology to a whole
I always
new level.
hated how
And
big
not only
his
was there Thanos,
chin was.
In this film, we also had Smart Hulk, right? So we had multiple digital characters that were performing, emoting, that the audience could really connect with. In previous Marvel movies, the Hulk has always been this sort of raging, stupid embodiment of anger. And he didn't really have to connect with the audience on any other level than that. With Smart Hulk in Avengers Endgame, he actually has...
Dude, the Hulk was so lame in Endgame. I didn't like
I
him.
think it's gratuitous, but whatever.
What? He didn't fight.
And he's sitting there performing alongside his live action actors and needs to be up to the very same level as them with every nuance of performance that he gives.
And now look at me. Best of both worlds.
There was some pretty amazing technology that went into bringing Thanos and Smart Hulk to life in
The old Hulk
Endgame.
movie with
In the
Edward Norton?
past, there's been, techniques used where there's
Is it just going a
thousands
straight
of
line, are you
dots
sure?
on an actor's face, and every single one of them is trying to drive like a little piece of a digital character's performance. But there's always stuff that happens in between the dots that we miss, right?
Okay.
We end up with this kind of uncanny valley effect with digital characters. Well, by using machine learning, they spent a lot of time actually teaching the computer how these faces should move.
Fuck me.
And then when the actor goes to perform with these head-mounted cameras on, they're actually not capturing that much data. They're just sort of getting the gist of what the actor's doing.
When I had the gauntlet, the stones, I really tried to bring her back.
Guys, let's watch Endgame
At
tonight.
NYMN I live you, at NYMN I live you, at NYMN I live you.
Analyzes what the face is doing, and it effectively fills in the blanks and translates that to Smart Hulk's performance. So they actually use a lot of different sets.
I like
of
Marvel
input
movies.
data
Why is
that
it
we call
poggers?
training
Marvel movies are good, man.
to
It's just
learn how an actor's face should
they're
move.
very mainstream,
So
you know.
there's
People
a
like
very,
using
very
mainstream
high-resolution
poggers on mainstream.
scan of the actor's face. That's hundreds.
I mean,
of
they're good for what
cameras,
they are, right?
Multiple lights that tell us not only how their face is shaped.
I find them
but
enjoyable
how
to
their
watch.
skin reacts to different kind of light hitting it. And then
Mainly the
we
Avengers
also
movies, though.
Put them through what we call facial range of motions, right? Which is
Wow.
them going through every expression you can possibly imagine. It's actually very
That is
tiring
crazy.
going
That
through
looks
this.
real.
But what it allows us to do
Leo.
is to see down to a poor level of detail what their skin does in 3 dimensions as they go from a smile to a frown, for example. Terabytes of
A
data
K-champ
go
to a
into
sad champ,
the
for
input
example.
to train the machine learning algorithms. And that allows us to actually
Well-
not capture a lot of data on set. Then we can correlate that small amount of data with this intense data set that we have for training to create an incredibly
Cave
rich
detected.
performance of a fully digital character.
Better be some diamonds for Daddy in here.
In addition
Oh
to
my
these
God.
stunning digital characters,
That is
in
scary.
Endgame, there are entire worlds that are designed from scratch, just sort of out of people's imagination, built down to every blade of grass. And doing that in a level that is consistent across an entire
Ow.
film. And this film had 2,500 individual shots that had visual effects in them.
Dum
To
dum
make that
dum
consistent
dum.
across the whole film,
Oh!
is a huge, huge task on this scale. And they really nailed it.
People keep telling
This
me
place
I'm
is
not-
cursed. NymN Sleeper is banned in one of the big streamers' channels, but I forgot whose. Huh. Soda poppin' maybe?
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker
PogChamp.
was a film that really played heavily on
Soy Wars.
nostalgia from a visual effects perspective and a storytelling perspective. Not only did the visual effects team have to kind of build on this Star Wars universe that we've become so used to seeing.
I worked on this,
and to have it
not on
feel
this
really
movie, but on
authentic and physical and gritty
One.
and grounded. But they had to bring multitudes of
Well.
digital and actually live action puppets to life.
No, you
Star
didn't,
Wars
chat.
has always been groundbreaking from a technology perspective, but it's also always been grounded in reality, right? The world just feels tactile. And in this film, they went to huge lengths
Wanna find more
to
diamonds.
pay respect to how the original films were
F.
made. They used tons of practical models and actual physical set builds, in addition to a lot of digital techniques
Yes, I
that
did
are cutting
actually.
edge even for today. That real blend of
No, I didn't
physical
make the credits,
with
unfortunately.
state-of-the-art
They only gave us like
is
10
part
spots
of
for the
Star
credits, and
Wars
we were
DNA.
like 25 people
One
who
of the
worked
biggest
on it.
challenges we always have in deciding
They
how
gave
we're
it to the
film
people who worked on
movies,
it
deciding
the most, which
what's
was
gonna
not
be
one of
real
me.
versus what's gonna
Or
be
I
digital.
wasn't one of them.
In the scene that takes place on the sunken Death Star, Roger Guyette, the visual
It's not
effects
funny,
supervisor,
chat.
and his team had to decide what water should be real versus what should be digital, and they ended up doing the vast majority of the water digitally. They actually created an entirely new ocean pipeline in order
What I
to
worked
be
on,
able
we
to
worked on the
execute
Rebel
shots.
base mostly.
But
You know that
not
big ass
all of
temple in the
water was
forest?
digital. One of the really important things for us as a visual effects team is to make sure that the actors always have context to help with their performances. And especially when it's something that they need to touch, having something there for real, like having these waves that are crashing over them be there for real, is critical to achieving
Leo?
a believable
Moxie, big time. Hi, Moxie. Dude, I actually want to play Overwatch with you soon, dude. All right, I actually want to do it. Hey, thank you so much for the host, man. I appreciate it. I hope you had a good stream. Did you win a lot? I'm feeling like Overwatch soon. I'm kind of doing. So I have these, like, I do my story single player gameplay nights, and I do my chill gameplay nights. Tonight is one of them, right? My Minecraft one. But right now I'm kind of feeling Minecraft. But after Minecraft, I might actually start doing a bit of Overwatch. But yeah, thank you. Welcome, guys. This is a very chill stream. I'm a tiny bit hungover, not crazy, but Sunday I'm chilling. I'm just enjoying survival multiplayer mode right now with a few of my viewers, and then we're watching a bunch of videos together, and then later we're gonna do movie night where we watch a bunch of short films together. So lots of reacting and chilling today. So make yourselves comfortable, grab a cup of tea, grab some snackies, and just enjoy the fun. Right now we're watching a video of a VFX artist breaking down the visual effects of the Oscar movies that are nominated for best visual effects.
A really touching part of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker was seeing
Aww.
Carrie Fisher on screen again, playing Princess Leia posthumously. Instead of using the
Any
digital
moxers?
facial techniques that are heavily used by some of the other contenders this year, they opted to use Carrie Fisher's real face, filmed from footage from past films, and augment it with
don't give a
digital hair
fuck.
and a digital body around
Hey,
her so that she fit
not
into
nice.
her environment. I think that really helped Carrie's soul come out on screen, and it was really appropriate for that moment, right? So Thanos absolutely deserves to be a digital character. Carrie in this film, the only way to do her was to actually use her.
Spoiler.
Since my days as an 18-year-old on Star Wars Episode 1, digital effects have come so far. Back then, we really had to be restrictive about how we used the
It's
effects.
snowing outside?
So
Oh, that's
digital
even cozier,
characters
man.
were incredibly
Coming to work
difficult,
drunk? Yeah, I know.
to achieve. We had to make
Have you
sure
guys
that the
ever been
camera
drunk
wasn't
or high or
moving too
whatever
much
at
in any
work?
one shot. Otherwise, it would make the shots take a long time and be way too expensive. Now we're sort of
I'm
freed
digging like
up
a
to be
Pepega
able
right
to
now.
do almost anything. you
Yes.
can imagine. And so
Chat,
what
I'm telling you.
filmmakers are challenged with these days is not to.
Did
ask
you like
whether
Rogue
something
One?
can be done,
Compared to some of the other Star Wars
rephrased
movies,
back in
definitely,
the
yeah.
days of Star Wars
I
Episode
didn't even
1.
watch Solo or the
But
latest Star
should
Wars
it be
movie. I just
done?
don't care anymore.
And how does it service the story?
Okay, I'm
And
making
I
a
think
fucking maze here.
Star Wars has evolved as a franchise to be a great example.
We can drink on
of a
Fridays,
film
same.
that uses the
My
right
old
tool
office.
for the right job.
We would start working at 4 p.m.
In your own time,
Okay, this
gentlemen.
movie. Okay, I want to say something right now. I want to talk about something. Okay, there's this idea online, especially on discussion forums, where people say CGI is bad, practical effects are the way to go. Look at this and this and this. Visual effects just never quite do it. And this is the toupee fallacy, where you only recognize visual effects in a movie where it's obvious they use visual effects. This fucking movie, from what I've seen of it, the way they have done effects that you never even think about is just amazing. And that's the problem, is that people never appreciate visual effects that are really, really good because they can't even tell that they're there.
Must be something big if the general's here.
They're walking into a trap. Your orders are to deliver a message.
Fuck off!
Tomorrow morning's attack. If
Dude!
you don't get there in time,
I wish I had a more mature audience.
we will lose 1,600 men.
1917 is a movie that you might not look at and say, oh, that's a visual effects movie. You would be sorely mistaken. It is full of visual effects, beginning to end. The whole movie is as one continuous shot where there's no cuts that you can actually see in the film. And that required an immense amount of work from the visual effects team. The film was actually shot in several different locations, some of them outdoors, some of them inside on sound stages, over the course of several months. And so how do you make that all look like one seamless piece of storytelling? Between each piece
What's
of
with the
footage
wide hardos?
shot on different days in different places, digital effects artists had to seamlessly blend from one to the next in a way that the audience can actually perceive it. One of the more dramatic examples of one of these digital blends
In
is
Castle
a
Henry,
scene where
Vaser.
our hero
Thank you guys for the
character
resubs.
is running out of a village that's on fire away from gunmen, jumps off a bridge and into a river, and then floats down the river. As the actor came around and jumped off the bridge, he was transitioned to a fully digital actor until he lands in the water, and then he became that same actor but on a different day in a different place. So just that one example is thousands of man hours of visual effects.
Can we appreciate that, chat? Claps in the chat.
To all of the digital blends, what a lot of people don't realize is how much digital work is done to actually plus out this World War I period world, where tanks that are stuck in giant craters, they're actually fully digital. They were never built for real. Big fields.
Service this, it's my realm.
Tons of spent ammunition strewn all over. Very little of that was actually real. And it all felt incredibly grounded. It felt like it was really there. And to me, those kinds of effects, what we call invisible visual effects.
Invisible visual effects. I've done multiple of those.
Are
Actually, I worked on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. One of the hardest things I've ever worked on was this shot where they had this car chase effect. Or sorry, they had this car chase scene where I haven't seen the movie even, but they chase up on like a truck. They're trying to take, it's on a road. They're trying to steal shit from the truck, right? Guzu, also with a host. Oh shit. Thank you, Guzu. Hope you had a good stream, man. I'm just about to, we're watching visual effects artists break down stuff, and I'm talking about a scene I worked on. Damn, welcome to my chill stream. Show us. I don't know if we can
Shut
find.
up, woman. Sit down right there. Shut
They
up.
outsourced the most boring work to you? Kind of, yeah. Okay, so it was. Wait. Joe and the Olive, thank you for the 18 months.
Understand a word from your mouth.
Guzu, enjoy, man. Hope you have a good stream. Thank you so much. Much love. Are you credited in anything? I think I got credited in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, yeah. Okay, so it was like a bunch of motorbikes are following this armed van, and they're trying to steal whatever is in it. And then they fucked up on recording. They messed up.
Vasectomy, so I can blow fat load.
They messed up, and one of the motorbikes were supposed to be broken, but it was still in the shot. And instead of retaking the shot, they're like, no, let's just send this to some poor-ass VFX artist. And I had to spend a couple of weeks cleaning away a huge motorbike, and there were sparks flying and everything, and it was just driving on this road. And I had to remove that bike from the entire shot. I spent so much time and effort of it. I was pretty happy with it in the end. And then the movie comes, and no one has any idea that I've ever done it, right? That's an invisible effect.
Some of my favorite kinds of effects.
It was like the army. You followed orders. You did the right thing.
Oh, this is really cool.
Hello, Nam. Have you ever tried Sir
No.
Irishman
Pork tasty, pork tasty, pork
featured
tasty.
one
I smelt it, and it
specific
smelled like
technique
trash.
that is what
Show
got it
us.
nominated for an Oscar. That is
I don't know if we can find it. Let me see. What was it called? Teenage. That Michael Bay one. Car chase? I don't know. I haven't even seen the movies. I don't know what to search for. Wait. It's this.
World works in mysterious ways, don't it, Shredder? Now you get to spend the rest of your life behind bars with these two knuckleheads.
Or not.
DMCA time.
Check those bikes. Coming up on our right and our left. Hit it! Come on, man! Go!
I worked on a new Lion King movie. It took me like an hour or so to make it, and Disney took credit for it. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Where's the bike? It's not. What? I don't know. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Boom. The fucking Michael Bay movies, man.
1013, 1013. We're being ambushed heading north on 87. We need immediate backup.
You removed the best part. Oh, it was one of these. So they messed up the continuity somehow. I think one of these probably breaks, but then it was still in one of the other shots. Wow.
Shotgun. Where are the shells? They're in the bag. What the hell are they doing in the bag?
This acting. No, I didn't meet Michael Bay. But one of the people I worked with was on set with Samuel L. Jackson. That was pretty cool.
Oh, the roof is on fire! Are you kidding me? Send us on a highway with the most dangerous criminal on the planet, and you don't load the shotgun.
It's like PUBG weapons. PogChamp.
You got bogeys on the bus.
Let's light them up.
Okay, hit the button.
Sada says yes, but don't post my real name in the chat. It's not hidden, but I also don't want it spammed everywhere. Dong. Wait, does this one break?
We got company.
I don't even know.
Clear our right flank.
Am I gonna get DMCA'd again, chat? This movie sucks. Yeah. Sometimes you spend a lot of time working on something that you know isn't gonna be that great, and that kind of sucks.
Say hello to my little friend.
Okay, this one breaks. Right, this one breaks.
Good job, Mikey.
So that one shouldn't be in
Those things
anymore.
are pretty awesome, huh?
And then I don't know where the shot is. Dude, what if they never even... What if they cut my shot?
Pretty awesome.
Get them out of there. Eliminate those.
It's an aerial shot. Not that one.
I don't like those guys.
Not being used to my full potential here, Leo. Hey, just chill, Raph.
They are going to rob a van.
Guys, they're coming back.
Enough. It's time to take out the trash.
Damn. Super fighter. Guys, I legit can't see my shot.
That's how I roll. That's how you roll.
Dude, these turtles are a lot less soy than I remember them.
Anything else I can do for you?
Here! This is it. This is the shot. Right here, there was that thing, that huge-ass thing that was supposed to be broken, was just here. And it wouldn't have been that bad if it wasn't for all of these fucking sparks flying everywhere. So I had to make sure that those sparks didn't, you know, that you didn't see that I just cut something out of it. It was fucking cancer.
Rated 3, move in.
Okay, they cut that shot a lot shorter than it was. That was half a second. What the fuck? This shot was at least like 4 or 5 seconds when I worked on it. They used this much. I cleaned up so much more, man.
was the de-aging of some of
Yeah, I
the
worked
most
on Neon Demon.
well-known and well-loved actors of our time. And to do
You have to
that
edit every
for
single
the
frame. Yeah,
entire
but it doesn't
film
work that
without
way.
falling into the uncanny
That way.
valley is a massive
show you.
challenge. What the visual effects supervisor, Pablo Hellman, and his team did on that film
Okay, sorry
was
for pausing again. I'll show you really fast kind of how it works. Okay, so you don't do it frame by frame, right? Instead, if you have an object, okay, and this is the first frame, and you want this thing to move across, instead of going from the first frame to the second frame, moving it to the third frame, moving it to the fourth frame, moving it, instead of doing this, if you put one keyframe on the first frame and you jump to your end product, your end frame, and you put it over here, now the program's automatically made an animation for you, and then you can do adjustments along the way to make it move, you know, like this, right? So a lot of the work you do is you add important keyframes, and then the computer doesn't have to work for you. I did not do much on Neon Demon. It was a very minor thing. I don't remember. We did some cleanup, I think. Some girl's dress didn't look very good, so we fixed it. Something like that. It was pretty boring.
Was to actually really use the actors' facial expressions on a movie set as ground truth, and they made a digital mask, effectively, that
You
went
think I'm doing a
over that
voice?
actor's face. To make these digital masks move perfectly, they filmed every actor with not one camera, but three. We had the main camera.
This
that
shit's
was
crazy.
the normal camera that you would use to shoot a movie, and then we had two what we call witness cameras on either side. And between those three
Witness
cameras
me.
and a special piece of software
Most
that
fun
Industrial Light
stuff?
Magic wrote called Flux, they were able to actually
Rogue One was fun,
analyze
actually.
every movement
There's some other
of
stuff
an
as well.
actor's face. Flux was actually able
What
to
the-
figure out what
Who is
each actor
this?
was doing exactly, create the younger version of them.
It's me.
And then that would be superimposed on the older version of the actor, and that became the final result. It was really important to
I'm in the
Martin
credits of
Scorsese
Pacific Rim.
to be able to shoot
I'm in
this like a
the end
normal
credits of
movie
that movie.
without motion capture, right? He didn't want a bunch of technology getting in the way of the process. So the two cameras, the witness cameras that are on either side of the main camera, they actually shoot infrared footage because that allows the visual effects team to
Show
light
show
the
what?
scene
The
in
credits?
a way
A list of
that
names.
allows those cameras to actually see the actor. Like, we can't see infrared light, so we
Can't
just
see.
pump in infrared light into the set and see really clearly what the actors are doing, even though Scorsese wants to light it as like a really dark, moody scene. So what the Irishman visual effects team did was actually brilliant, is that they figured out how to get out of the way of the filmmaking process of this, you know, genius in Scorsese to get all the data that they needed. A really important
That's
part
fucking
of
cool,
bringing
chat.
these younger versions of these actors to life.
You actually
was
work on the
actually
Nun?
using
Yeah, the Nun was the last thing I
thousands
did before I quit.
images and
It's the
video
absolute last
clips
project I worked
from
on
each
before I
actor
quit
in their
and became a
younger
full-time
days,
streamer instead.
so that they could not only build a face that looked like kind of what
I never
you
watched it.
remember them to have looked
I've
like
only
in the
watched
past,
like 30% of
but
the stuff I
also
worked
to
on.
help train algorithms within the Flux software.
What are you talking about,
to
Billy?
make the faces move authentically.
Where are we gonna
And
go?
the movie sec- yeah.
When watching The Irishman for all 3.5 hours of the movie, I actually felt like
Yeah,
they
no,
were
I heard
really
The Nun sucked,
successful
so I never
in
watched it.
Bringing these younger versions of the actors to life.
Billie
There
Eilish?
was
What about
some
her?
criticism about
Do you know her?
You know, the posture of the actors was a little more like an old man.
Why not
than
see
it
all
was
of them?
the
Why would I
younger
want to see a
version of
movie that
himself.
sucked just because I worked on it?
And
Here's
to
the
be
thing.
honest,
Okay, so if I worked on a movie, say I spent 3 months staring at the same handful of scenes, right? If I know the movie sucks, why would I want to see the movie? The only part I would want to see is my own stuff, right? But I already saw my own stuff over and over and over and over again, so I don't really care about seeing it either. So most of the movies I worked on, I just never watched.
I think the sign of success with any effect is
Every movie I worked on
whether
sucked?
It helps to engage you in the movie, or if it pumps you out
kind
of
of.
the movie. And for the duration of The Irishman, I was just fully engaged in those characters. So
I don't
the
think
little
Rogue One
technical
sucked.
flaws of, in this instance,
Pacific Rim was
posture,
good for what it was.
They just didn't stand out to me.
And then I
I've
worked on a
heard
really weird
lot of
movie called
actors talk
Untamed that I
about
heard
The
was very
Irishman
good.
As giving them a new lease on life, right? The fact that these
Well, yeah,
actors
Neon
could
Demon is
perform
apparently
as younger
good.
versions of themselves and do so convincingly, I think has pretty big ramifications for storytelling. moving
Namifications.
forward. We can now look at casting actors based on their personality.
Well,
and
John got
their
like the
fit for a
16 months, dude.
role and less for their age.
Whoa,
Some
look at
people
this
talk
big
about
chunk of
the
diamonds, dude.
ethical
That is
concerns
so
of
nice.
being able to create a digital version of any actor out there, and I was like, oh, are we going to replace actors one day? And I think the Irishman
How much was I paid?
positive that that's just not going to happen. It's nonsensical. There
much
is
was I
no
paid?
amount of digital
I'd say I made,
wizardry,
after taxes, I made
promise
about
you this,
$3,000.
that is gonna bring a performance to the level that a De Niro is going to bring to the screen, right? And that foundation, that soul of the actor, that's what we're responding to from an emotional perspective.
It's not. That's
And
not crazy.
As the Irishman proved to us,
It's decent.
the digital wizardry
Supervisors made
more than
a lot of
replacing
money,
an
but
actor's performance,
supervisors
it's
worked
complementing.
really, really
It's
hard
actually helping
too.
to highlight it and build upon it. And that, as a storyteller, is an incredibly exciting prospect to leverage more and more.
This is my
into
best
the
work. What do you
future.
mean with that? Jenya! Oh, this
In
movie is
The
also
Lion
really
King,
beautiful.
Rob Legato, the visual effects supervisor, and his team created
Should I
an
head back up?
entirely digital world for the story to take
I want to
place
find
in.
one
In
more
fact,
cluster
there's
of
only
diamonds,
one
then I'm gonna head
shot
back up.
in the movie, the opening shot, that was filmed
A
in
World
Africa.
Beyond? I don't know what that
Everything
is.
else is completely virtual, but it feels like real life. It feels like you're watching
What the-
a National Geographic documentary. Now, the danger of having a completely virtual world that you can do anything you want in is that it could
I'm
end
half
up
Swedish,
looking
half
like
Tunisian.
a video game. No matter how realistic the grass looks, if the camera's not moving correctly and if the lighting isn't cinematic, it's just not going to work. So what Rob Legato and his visual effects team did on the film is they designed virtual production tools that allowed real camera teams
I don't
with
wanna
real
lose these.
camera cranes and dollies and Steadicams that were puppeteering these digital cameras.
My
in
dad
the
is the
virtual
Tunisian
world.
one.
And so what you end up with is a feel.
Yeah, I know, Iron
of
Cave.
the
Please don't
movie
link that in chat.
Is every bit as naturalistic.
I don't want to
as
bring a
if
bunch
it
of
had been
attention to
shot
that
in the
stuff.
African plains.
People just
The
harass
thing
it.
that's always a dead giveaway with digital effects is when things are too perfect, right? The natural world, it
Why is
has
weed
a
called
certain amount of
grass?
chaos that is
Wait, what?
completely unavoidable. And by using
Other way
virtual
around, right?
production and real camera equipment to design these digital camera moves, that imperfection that we're so
Have I seen any
used to
animal
seeing in cinema
documentaries?
is translated
Yeah, we
onto
watched on
these
Curiosity
digital
Stream. We
African
watched
plains
the one
so
about
that
the
it
red panda
just
was
looks like
so
something that we're
nice.
used
It was
to
so
seeing.
popototo.
Predicting who's
I
going
love
to
that
take
one.
home the Oscar this
And the
year
one about doggies
is-
was also nice.
And I'm not copping out here. It's
Yeah, I
just
worked on The Walking
totally
Dead.
Impossible. All
Dude,
of the films that are
Dude,
nominated.
do you guys remember that scene from The Walking Dead with The Walking Dead, the dead with the awful looking deer? My company got tasked with fixing that shot. Like they sent it to us and they were like, "This looks like shit. Can you make it new?" So they updated that clip after they aired the episode the first time. They updated it later. So when they released it for like streaming and stuff, we actually fixed the deer. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's one of the most awful VFX shots ever. Arr, brains. No. Wait. Yeah, good shit.
Are so different. And I really think that the winner is going to be probably the story that ended up connecting with audiences the most.
I think 1917 should win. I haven't even watched the movie, but it just seems incredible. Are we gonna watch a horror short tonight? Sure, I'm down. Jesus. I was not prepared for that. It's a must watch, I believe you. I really want to watch, you know, a movie I really want to watch is Parasite. Jambalone, half a year. Add NymN chat. Why people happy? Point right heart. Hell yeah. Thank you. Diamond. And 8 Mile. Yeah, I gotta watch 8 Mile. I want to watch more movies on IMDb 250 in general. 1917 Invisible cuts weren't that good. Really? Okay. There are movies out there that were actually recorded in one take. There's a movie